Good evening, this is the Northern Sun Experience. I'm David Brown, and another championship is in sight for the NSIC. Minnesota State football is in the midst of its greatest season in school history. Heading into its D2 semifinal matchup, the Mavericks were a perfect 13-0, including last week's region championship victory over fellow NSIC foe Minnesota Duluth. Minnesota State was hoping to advance to its first national championship in school history, hosting Concord University out of West Virginia in the semifinals. Mavericks already up 8-0 and looking for more. Ricky Lloyd to Kyle Riggett, 20-yard strike, 15-0 MSU. They would add to that lead in the second. Lloyd escapes pressure, finds Connor Thomas, who dives into the end zone, 7-yard score, 22-0. A Concord score cuts it to 22-7 before backup Nick Pieracini somehow escapes the tackle and does the rest. 11-yard scramble, 30-7 Mavs at halftime. Second half, MSU keeps its foot on the gas. Thomas weaves his way in from 8 yards out, 37-7 in the third. Just 2 minutes later, Lloyd finds a wide-open Bryce Duncan 5-yard strike, 44-7 after 3, and Minnesota State is heading to its first football championship in school history as they top Concord 47-13.
I don't think there's any pressure at all. I mean, we don't think about it. It's always 1-0, trying to handle the task at hand. That's what we've done so far.
Just got to keep doing what we've been doing. We've been preparing hard each week. We have a good game plan going into every game. This can't be no different. We just got to do what we do and not get overwhelmed with the whole, national championship thing. But it's a good feeling.
As a program, we've reached a level that hasn't been done before, and hopefully we're not just hungry to go down and play at Kansas City. Hopefully we're starving and really want to do well and play a tough, hard-nosed football game in the national championship game and keep our focus on the process, which is what we've done all year long.
The national championship is this Saturday, December 20th in Kansas City, Kansas, and Minnesota State will take on 13-1 Colorado State Pueblo out of the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. Now, the Thunderwolves are no slouch. One of the team's 13 victories this season came on the road at Sam Houston State, a Division I FCS school that's also still alive in its playoff bracket. They take on North Dakota State in the FCS semifinals Saturday for the right to go to the FCS championship. Kickoff for the D2 championship is Saturday at 3 p.m. Well, from one perfect team to another, when we come back, we'll switch gears to men's basketball as Minnesota State Moorhead look to remain undefeated against St. Cloud State and Minnesota Duluth.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midco Sports Network is presented by CU Mortgage Direct LLC, Sanford Health, and Dakota Land Honda.
Welcome back. The surprise of the young basketball season has to be Minnesota State Moorhead. The Dragons entered this past weekend undefeated at 11-0, its best start in 3 years. MSU Moorhead hoping to move to 12-0 on Friday the 12th as they traveled to St. Cloud State. But the Huskies were defensive early on. James Fort with the big block there. And then on the offensive end, Connor Niehaus hits this three from the top of the key. But despite the prowess at both ends, the Dragons proved they could work on both offense and defense at the same time. Prescott Williams with the steal and the slam, and MSU Moorhead moves to 12-0 with a 98-85 win over St. Cloud State. Could the Dragons go 13 for 13 on the 13th? Well, Minnesota Duluth would stand in the way. That's Pierre Newton with the drive from the right side, and then a little bit later driving in from the left. He led the Bulldogs with 19. Back come the Dragons. Jordan Ruhr comes off the screen and hits the floater from the foul line. He had 16, but the Bulldogs' outside shooting would help them prevail. Taylor Lavery hits the three there, one of UMD's 8 on the evening, and they would eke out a 2-point win, 60-58, to hand MSU Moorhead its first loss of the season. Some other Friday action included Bemidji State at Augustana. Casey Schilling drives the middle and hits the tough lay-in. Augie is up 8 early. A couple of possessions later, Schilling shows off his defense, picking off the transition pass and gliding in for 2. He had 24 on the night. The Beavers would try and hang in. Ben Best does his best on this nice screen and roll. He had 16 to lead Bemidji State, but Augie was simply too much. Daniel Jansen pops outside for 3 of his 23 on the evening, and the Vikings top the Beavers 91-70. Preseason favorite Minnesota State traveled to Upper Iowa. Zach Monahan behind the shoulder to Assem Marai for the slam. He had 18. But the Peacocks would go on a 3-point barrage to keep pace. Josh Weber and Grant Lang had 6 of the 10 long balls for Upper Iowa, but they could not outrun the Mavs as Monahan outruns this loose ball, fires the pass down court. Connor Miller gets the slam. He had 30, and Minnesota State wins 89-78. To women's hoops now, St. Cloud State hoping to remain undefeated against MSU Moorhead, and plays like that would help their cause. Chelsea Nooker with the steal and lay-in. She led all scorers with 18. Back come the Dragons. Megan Rarick hits the 3 in the corner. She led MSU Moorhead with 15, but the Huskies would prove to be too much inside. Carissa LeCaptain gets the lay-in here, and then it's Nooker once again. Nice moves for another easy basket. St. Cloud State tops MSU Moorhead 79-62. They would hope to keep it up against Northern State on Saturday, but the Wolves' Paige Watashik hits the 3, and the Wolves are up early. The Huskies come back with 3 of their own from Kylie Van Cly. Preseason Player of the Year Rachel Krugman would come back for the Wolves and hit this lefty lay-in, but the Huskies would eventually take care of business. Nicole Whitman hits from the outside. St. Cloud State had 9 threes on the night as they remain undefeated with a 62-54 win over Northern State. Winona State took on Minnesota State on Friday. This is Ashley Olsen somehow getting the layup to go while falling down, but it seemed like the Warriors were always in control. Great fake by Tara Roloffs as she hits the fadeaway. She had 21, and then it's Connor Nagel spotting up for 3. Winona State tops Minnesota State 73-62. When we come back, we'll meet Northern State sprinter Makenzie Hageman. Find out why this junior has become an inspiration to her teammates and coaches next.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midco Sports Network is presented by CU Mortgage Direct LLC, Sanford Health, and Dakota Land Honda.
Welcome back. Makenzie Hageman is one of the best sprinters in Northern State history. The junior already holds several school records and has medaled in different international competitions. And while she's certainly accomplished, her greatness actually stems from her ability to be ordinary, not extraordinary. It's Halloween on the campus of Northern State University, supposedly the one time of the year where you can pretend to be somebody you're not. And yet, despite the costume of Where's Waldo, Makenzie Hageman is being herself, laughing with teammates and enjoying a relaxed track practice.
They're a great group of kids and they really care about each other, and we just have a really good team environment at Northern.
Backward scooter races and Nerf javelin throws aren't exactly the best training for sprinters like Makenzie. In fact, most competitors believe that no practice can live up to the sights and sounds of that quick race down the track. But Makenzie doesn't see it that way. She doesn't hear it that way either.
And I want other deaf people to be able to look to me as a role model, that they can do it as well. If I'm doing it, they can look to me and know that they can do it.
With the help of interpreter Alyssa Bean, Makenzie makes one thing perfectly clear. She may not use all of her senses, but common sense, as well as hard work, make her unstoppable.
And she's so driven, and that really helps. The fact that you can tell just how determined she is, and it really rubs off on her teammates. She's actually lifting the group up because she just works so hard, and even with a few aches and pains, really is good at pushing through it and fighting through a few things, and it's been great for the team.
Makenzie was born deaf, but she had plenty of support from her friends and family. Her older brother Cody piqued her interest in track, and from there she took off. And while running came naturally, the timing and cadence of a race presents a unique challenge.
Someone has to tap my foot to tell me set, and then I can hear the gun, so I am able to hear that part. So then I just take off when I hear it.
We knew she was fast, but we didn't really know exactly how she worked with the gun sound and how she started and everything. So that was a learning process for us that she kind of had to teach us how she starts and gets in the set position in the blocks and everything. And
whatever her methods are, they work. In her first 2 years at Northern State, Makenzie already has the school record in the 60 and 100 meter dash. She also won a silver medal in the 4x100 relay at the 2013 Deaf Olympics in Bulgaria.
it's really impressive how well she gets out of the blocks, and you know, I'm assuming she's got kind of a knack to just drown everything out.
Her different senses kick in, and I think they allow her to, even, push forward, even more. She makes up for what she, can't hear.
The language of track is universal, and Makenzie's teammates and coaches also work to make off-the-field communication as smooth as her glide across the finish line.
It's wonderful, it's great. They love sign language. They think it's a beautiful language. They want to learn, and so I've been teaching them some signs, and the cooperation and rapport is wonderful.
At practice time we have Alyssa there, so we definitely use her to the fullest extent. But she can read lips, so that's very, very helpful. Most of the athletes, they're starting to pick up certain sign language cues and stuff too, so that's been very helpful.
I mean, there are some communication barriers, and she's definitely inspired quite a few of her teammates and coaches to slowly learn some sign language just so we can communicate a little bit better with her.
So that's what I'd like you to do first.
Outside the track, Makenzie's just like every other student at Northern State, going to class, doing homework, and working to keep herself in shape.
The coaches and the other athletes, they don't mind, giving me a little support, or they don't look at me as someone who can't do something. Oh, that I'm deaf. They treat me equally. Everyone's very friendly. They feel comfortable to come up to me, approach me.
The girls have just really rallied around her and are really good about, hanging out with her and communicating the best they can with her, and I think she's really enjoying her new teammates.
It would be easy to say Makenzie has hurdled over every obstacle she's encountered. But the truth is, she doesn't even see obstacles, she sees opportunities, both to accept the fact that she's different and to embrace the reality of why that matters. So if anyone still wants to know where to find Makenzie, she's been right here all along, fitting in and standing out.
Definitely an inspiration for me to coach, and I know the same goes for all our athletes. So they're pretty amazed by what she can do.
I think the best part is to just be able to tell people not to set up, not to have any kind of, that they can do anything you want, and that you're just a regular person, not to feel like you're inhibited by anything, and don't set up any limitations on yourself. Don't feel like you have to step back and say, oh, I can't do that, but just to go ahead and get involved, and to think positive, have a positive attitude.
As a junior, Makenzie has 2 more seasons at Northern State, and she'll also compete in the 2017 Deaf Olympics in the country of Turkey. While Makenzie has certainly achieved a lot as we wrap up 2014, here's a look back at some of the biggest conference accomplishments over the course of the fall season. 4 of the 5 fall sports featured a regional champion from the NSIC: Southwest Minnesota State Volleyball, Minnesota State Football, Augustana Men's Cross Country, and Minnesota Duluth Women's Cross Country. All of those teams also finished in the top 3 in the nation in their respective sports. From an individual standpoint, 624 student athletes earned NSIC All-Academic honors for having a GPA higher than 3.2. That includes a couple of Elite 89 award winners in Sioux Falls cross-country athlete Billy Brockmuller and SMSU volleyball player Claire Saines. The Elite 89 award is given to the student athlete with the highest cumulative GPA at a national championship. When we come back, our Under the Northern Sun feature spotlights the University of Minnesota Duluth.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midco Sports Network is presented by CU Mortgage Direct LLC, Sanford Health, and Dakota Land Honda.
Welcome back. It's time for Under the Northern Sun, where we shine the spotlight on one of our member schools. Tonight, it's the University of Minnesota Duluth, where several student athletes showcase the beauty of the North Shore.
Welcome to Bulldog Country.
Welcome to Bulldog Country.
Welcome to Bulldog Country. Welcome to Bulldog Country. My name is Lauren Bruja and I am one of nearly 400 student athletes here at the University of Minnesota Duluth. It is my pleasure to give you a little glimpse of what we call Bulldog Country. UMD was established near the turn of the 20th century and became a part of the University of Minnesota system in 1947. Nestled in the hill that overlooks Lake Superior, the campus encompasses 240 acres and some 50 buildings. What makes UMD unique is that all the buildings are connected through a series of tunnels, skyways, and concourses. UMD offers over 150 major and minors, including one of the top-ranked engineering programs in the Midwest, and the student-to-faculty ratio is 18:1.
You need to be effective in the classroom, in the community, and on the field. And that's something that our coaches have instilled in us ever since we became Bulldogs.
It's also very relatable with the Twin Cities campuses and other U of M campuses around here, so I like the idea of coming up here and still being able to connect with other U of M campuses.
Get emails from professors saying, please stop in if you need help or any questions on anything, and that's what I like about the school here.
The city of Duluth is located on the westernmost point of the world's largest freshwater lake, but there is more to Duluth than just the breathtaking beauty of Lake Superior. The city also has over 160 miles of hiking trails and an abundance of parks and plenty of other options for outdoor enthusiasts. This last summer, Duluth was crowned Best Town in America by Outdoor Magazine. All of this, and it's just 2 hours from one of the country's largest metropolitan areas.
Just the scenery brought me in. I know being on the hill, you wake up every morning in the dorms and you get to look out at Lake Superior. I mean, that's a view that's hard to beat.
Yeah, when I was younger, we always used to travel up here as vacation for our family, and so being able to, live where you vacation is kind of cool. And
as a team, we do sand volleyball, go to Park Point, different activities like that I really love doing.
Among the numerous on-campus facilities the Bulldogs have at their disposal is the recently renovated James S. Malowski Stadium, one of northern Minnesota's premier venues. This is home to UMD football, soccer, track and field, and softball. There is also Romano Gymnasium, which houses the Bulldogs volleyball and men and women's basketball teams.
I've been to all the other schools on road trips, and I've seen a little bit of what other schools have, and I can honestly say that Duluth, when it comes to a weight room standpoint especially, we have a top-of-the-line facility.
I definitely say the weight room facility is great. I noticed that right away in my visit too. And the gym, I like the seating up high and the fans that we get here. It's like a perfect game environment.
Off campus in the heart of downtown Duluth is where you'll find the centerpiece of UMD's athletic facilities, the $80 million, 6,800-seat Amsoil Arena, which opened its doors December of 2010 for both the men and women's Division I hockey programs.
Personally, I like everything about it. What stuck out to me most was just the rink, and for us, the locker room. I mean, we have a really outstanding locker room, and where I transferred from, we didn't really have that.
My 4 years, I've played in a lot of different rinks all over the country, and this is, number one, by far. And the facilities, I know a lot of people don't see what we have underneath kind of the stadium, but man, it's first class, and we have everything we need down there, and it's better than I've ever seen on some of the visits I've taken, and we're really lucky to have it.
UMD has one of the country's few hybrid athletic programs in that it offers both Division I and Division II sports. The Bulldogs sponsor 16 sports and compete in the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference, the National Collegiate Hockey Conference, and the Western Collegiate Hockey Association, and they do it with a great deal of success. From 2000 to 2014, UMD has won a combined 8 NCAA National Championships, 57 conference titles, while producing 12 individual national champions and 177 All-American selections.
For me, being a Bulldog, it really just makes me really proud.
Pride is definitely something that I think of when I think of being a Bulldog. Every single Bulldog here, whether you're on a team or not, you have pride in what UMD cares about.
The way that the community is. I mean, Duluth backs Bulldog sports so well. I mean, hockey games, even volleyball games, football games, there's people all over, all ages coming to the games. I mean, whether they're alumni, they bring their young families, bring their little kids. I mean, there's just so much support throughout the whole community, throughout the whole city.
It's just a tremendous feeling when you know that you're playing for more than just yourself. You're playing for the support you have, your teammates, and it's a family here.
I think everyone that is a Bulldog always uses the phrase is "I'm proud to be a Bulldog," and it's really cool that that's something that we all have.
When we come back, it's DB's Picks, my top 5 plays of the past week in the NSIC.
The Northern Sun Experience on Midco Sports Network is presented by CU Mortgage Direct LLC, Sanford Health, and Dakota Land Honda.
Welcome back. It's time for the best of the best, the top 5 plays of the past week in the NSIC. At number 5, we head to St. Cloud State, where Chelsea Nooker plays pickpocket. She steals this pass and drives in for the easy lay-in to over game-high 18 points against MSU Moorhead. The Huskies remain the only undefeated team in women's basketball, and plays at both ends are the reason why. For number 4, more from both ends at St. Cloud State, only this time it's MSU Moorhead's Prescott Williams with the steal and the slam. Check it out one more time. The smooth glide to the basket led to smooth sailing for the Dragons as they moved to 12-0 with a victory last Friday over the Huskies. At number 3, a highlight we didn't get to earlier but had to show nonetheless. Sioux Falls' Charles Ward hits the tough J off glass with time winding down to get the victory. Here's another look. Ward hits it with 3.3 seconds to go, giving USF a 75-73 win over UMary. At number 2, we go to Mankato, where Nick Piracini plays Houdini, somehow escaping the tackle and rumbling 11 yards for the score. He may be the backup QB, but he provided a starring role in the Mavs' 47-13 win over Concord to advance to the national championship. For number 1, we stay with Minnesota State, but move to the hardwood. Zach Monahan chases down the rebound, fires the out-of-bounds saving outlet pass to Connor Miller for the slam. Here's another look. Monahan showing his arm is just as strong as any Maverick QB. Miller had 30 points, Monahan had a great assist, and the Mavericks get the win over Upper Iowa. Once again, a thank you to all NSIC member schools for contributing their time and video. We're taking a holiday break, so we'll see you in 3 weeks on the Northern Sun Experience.